today. From the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, this is Madden NFL 21 on EA Sports. We'll see Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Tampa Bay coming out along with a man who needs no introduction, the great Tom Brady.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Brady now on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Brady over the middle here to Brown. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Yards officially, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
What you like about him? Guy loves football, flat out loves it, has toughness, wants to hang in there and play through just about everything, and walks that line between creativity and being able to take care of the football, taking those chances and not. When he figures out exactly where that line is on every snap, look out, folks. Jameis Winston will really ascend as a quarterback.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive, and a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Here's a throw caught by Gronkowski. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for only a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
The LSU man, Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 40-yard line.
There's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
For the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returnable here for Callaway. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A first down throw for Winston. He fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
His pass.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So after the INT, it's Brady airing this one out for Evans. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Touchdown, Tampa
Mike
Bay.
Evans, 49 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Callaway, the return man. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. From the shotgun, he'll throw.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
On 3rd down, Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
The tackle made at the
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now they'll throw with Brady. Incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. They're targeting Godwin once more, this time complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 38-yard line. Brady finding Godwin there for a Buccaneer first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Brady now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown.
Brady.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski, that's caught. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. Brady on target to Gronk. First down Buccaneers. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Fournette, a first down carry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 24, Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones.
Brady's pass.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On 4th down, Ryan Succop now for the Buccaneer field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first.
Saints, nothing.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Callaway, the return man. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
The ball carrier.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 31, Winston. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Jameis to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And that one results in 35 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Winston again, it's Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. This will be caught at about the 6. And the Saints are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down. They'll run it with Kamara. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Stop short of the goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd and goal from the 1. throwing. Winston. And Winston lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
For the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Callaway, the return man. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll throw from the gun. And it's caught on the right side at Smith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Winston. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. A 2nd down throw for Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
To the air again with Winston. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete.
Winston's pass intended for Traquan Smith.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've been off to the races already. A 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On the run, it's Fournette. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Tampa Bay.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Fournette. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's going to yield a new set of downs.
That's the end of the first quarter.
17-0 our score after 1.
Saints nothing.
From midfield, here's Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
A gain of
first down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Brady now on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Over the middle here to Brown.
Brady's pass.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady, this will be caught just inside the 10. And the Buccaneers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the ball situated at the 9, second and goal. They'll give Fournette another crack. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming.
Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal.
Here's Fournette. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up fourth down.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
Comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the lead now increases to 20-0.
20. Saints, nothing.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Callaway, the return man.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston.
A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Winston now to throw on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, Winston. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And he'll get there and pick it. And he'll get this back to the And you don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now Fournette. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Brady throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
For Tampa Bay.
Callaway, the return man. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Saints take over 1st and 10. At their own.
We get a glance at the Buccaneer defense as they file into position. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Winston. We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll begin with a give to Fournette to start the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Brady. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
At their own 38-yard line.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Kamara. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Winston. And they will catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 54-yard attempt.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now here we go again with Tom Brady in Tampa's offense. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They begin with a run by Fournette. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
A throw over the middle, taken in. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run with Fournette. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So out comes the field goal team once more. This from 54 yards away.
4-yard attempt.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Buccaneers 23, Saints nothing.
Field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Winston looking here for Smith downfield. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead.
Intercepted by the Buccaneers. Will take over.
Sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Again, we see Tom Brady and the Bucs set to take over. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. David Onyemata there on the tackle.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Brady to throw. A pass underneath for Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This time it's 3rd and 3. It's caught. Jones. And he'll go out of bounds. It looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline. But what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Brady now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you've got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Operating from the gun. Brady. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Davis. Touchdown, Saints.
Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
On for the point after. And that makes it 23-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now Leonard Fournette. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He was brought down by Zach Bourne. 4 yards.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
At the 29-yard line.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Brady. Guys, man, complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Fournette. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, Brady. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun. Brady quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll go with a big back Fournette. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And a tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they had a good drive going, a chance to build on this first half lead, but now you kind of feel like we got a new ball game.
And you wonder what the discussion will be now at halftime, because I think we were headed towards 1. Now it's a different discussion altogether. One side optimistically, the other side wondering what could have been.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's now 23-14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Returning it, Johnson. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Leonard Fournette who was tough to stop in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Callaway, the return man. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Time again to see Jameis Winston in this Saints offense.
And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, he'll set up to throw.
This is complete to Michael Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, what a juke into space. And this will wind up a Saints 1st down as the tackle made at about the 38.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2nd down and 3. Now an option play on 2nd down.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. The open man is Smith. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Winston. Well, his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Carlton Davis picks it, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll go again to Jones. 1st down and much more here for Jones. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 31-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Shotgun now for Brady. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady targeting Godwin once more, this time complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Brady. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. This is Fournette. And the Bucs are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Antonio Brown there to make the grab. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Operating from the gun, Brady. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it.
That keeps the score. Buccaneers 29.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating, because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Kamara. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that's caught by Smith.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. First down, Winston. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I often wonder why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll try to throw now. Winston to the right side and complete to Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Winston now from the 50. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Levante David in on the tackle.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 24. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is
He's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now Winston on 4th down. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Winston. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Winston. Oh, pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12.
The score, Buccaneers 29, Saints 17.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Not taking your advice, they'll throw first play. This one complete to Scott Miller. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first.
At the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, it's Brady. And he finds Gronk. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. On the run, it's Fournette. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Fournette. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
On the tackle. A gain of 12. First down, Tampa Bay.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From midfield, here's Brady. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Tano Passigno. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the first down sack. Brady, he sets up the screen to Jones. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Here's Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again, it's Winston. Over the middle to Smith. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
One of the selling points of the in route is against the quarterback, a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jameis again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Winston. And that will be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now Lutz for the field goal try.
For the field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now.
It's the score, Buccaneers 29, Saints 20.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll begin with a give to Fournette to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Shotgun now for Brady. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Fournette, a first down carry. Well, he's got some breathing room. He's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Brady's throw there complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
From the gun, Brady. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but it'll be 2nd and goal. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Second down and goal. Brady throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. But now it's third and goal.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Again, they'll throw with Brady. This is caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So what can Brady do here as he'll lead his guys up to go for two. They're going to run for it with Jones. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up two more. And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
Out onto the field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That second down play nets a -4. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be out right at the 35. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd That's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, Winston. Open man is the tight end, Troutman. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. It's Kamara in the passing game. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Jameis to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Carlton Davis picks it, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette, the ball.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return.
The Saints take over 1st and 10. At their
Well, look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
That's good.
This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
1st down, Winston. Harris has it over the middle. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 20! And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll run with Fournette. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Tom Brady hooking up with Mike Evans there. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Buccaneers. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the lead is now 24. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Count away the return man. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Tampa Bay defense coming back out now. Recovered the fumble, up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are ready to go.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Out of the gun, he'll throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, it's Winston. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 13-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
From the red zone now, Winston to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. That's caught. It's Thomas. And the Saints are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
2-yard line.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To the air again with Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Jameis again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick quarterback slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They begin with a run by Fournette, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down. Today's
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. I'll be heading to the hotel. Charles, he's off to Bourbon Street.
No, I'm not.
Yes, we'd say so long from New Orleans.